Hey, welcome back, comic book community. This is Travis Grant, your friendly neighborhood comic book nerd, and today we are going to look at Fantastic Four, issue number 20. Alex Ross did this cover. I believe Alex Ross is doing all the covers on Fantastic Four. I don't have a lot of Fantastic Fours. But this Ryan North guy, the writer, I like this comic. I don't have a lot of Fantastic Fours to compare it to, but I like this issue. So I might pick up some more. It kind of makes the Fantastic Four into making them kind of normalcy, like a normal person. What would normal people do? And I always had the question of, how do these guys make money? How does the Fantastic Four make money? How do they survive? You're just being a superhero, and you just get paid. They don't. So, anyways, it's telling they've been evicted from the Baxter Building in New York, and they're staying at the Things. I think it said the Things grandmother's old house in Arizona. And right now, To Work Wonders is the issue number. I mean the what they're gonna call this issue. And Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm in To Work Wonders. And right now they're at a brewery. And Johnny's like, "Oh, come on. I'm so bored. Look, come on, Ben. This sucks. I was raised on adventure. My heart craves exploits and escapades." And Ben is like, hey, here's a quest. Why don't you do your job? I remind you, is to hang out here and stop the criminals, And then Johnny, he's just, whatever, fine. And then he's just so bored, and his little fire spills bored when he smacks his head. And sorry about that. Ben's freaking out. He's like, "Hey Johnny, we are in a brewery, and there's alcoholic fumes around here. You can't do this. You better flame off, buddy." And Johnny's, "Whatever, man, Ben." And then he's bored. Ben's always taking it easy, and he's soaking it up, And Johnny's like, "I'm gonna be mischief," and he's like, "Hey, knock it off, Matchstick. I told you, not to." And whoosh, the next page, we got a big fire going on. It's like, oh crap. And then it says, "Hey, I told you, I got the fire under control." He brung it back, and he's like, "But yeah, hey, what about Mr. Peterson when he finds out all this?" And it's, he ain't gonna find out. He's like, "Yeah, but what about the cameras?" And then right then and there, the telephone starts ringing, and Ben's like, "Look, it's ringing, Johnny. We're in trouble." Johnny picks up the phone, and he's like, "Hello, Mr. Peterson." And the next thing you know, they're fired, and he says, "He hung up on me. How rude." And then he's like, "Matchstick." So here we go. We're on the next day, and Ben's in a job interview. Same guy. He's job interviewing him, but look at Johnny. He's wearing a tuxedo shirt or something. I don't know. He's funny, and he has this. I don't know if Johnny. I guess is it Johnny Storm? I don't know if he normally has a mustache like that, a handlebar mustache, but in this issue he has a handlebar mustache, and he's just rocking it, right? And so he's telling, "Hey, I'm gonna do good," and he's like, "Hey, I'm people and then like, "You're hired," and then "You're hired." So then we come back, and this is pretty good. He said, for the love of it, we agreed to work different jobs from now on. This is my gig, Johnny. Scram. Well, you never told me where you were going to work at. Where you were applying to, Stone Dome. So tough cookies. He called him Stone, because he's made of rocks and stuff. It's kind of funny, but then here we go. They're working, and then all of a sudden, this poor sap. Imagine being a crook, and here to rob you. Give me all your money, or I'll shoot you. And they don't care. They've Johnny and Storm seen it all. They don't care. They've been all over the place, and they're still going at it about working the same job, and seriously, Grim, the cash now. Seriously, give me the cash now, or I'm gonna start firing and kill these people. They're still going at it. Johnny traps them in a fire cage, and they're still arguing like because that guy's small potatoes to them. They're used to fighting big old stuff, and all the people that work there are just like, hey, this is the greatest thing ever, and they're like, hey, well, yeah, and the manager thanks them and stuff, and they're the best at it now. That night, Ben's pacing around. He's like, I can't believe it. He's picked the same thing. So they're still arguing, and he's still arguing, and that's just what they're doing. I believe they're just going back and forth, and so the next day, they're checking out, and he's telling them, and the manager says, all right, we're having an incentive. The person who does the best job is gonna win a bonus. And then Grimm's like, Ben Grimm, he's like, I'm gonna win. And Johnny's like, nah, I'm gonna win, buddy. I'm gonna beat you. And so now they're having a competition. We got the Blood Hunt here. I don't know if anybody's reading Blood Hunt. Some people say it's good, but these are just continuum. I guess Fantastic 421 is going to have a Blood Hunt next month. And looks like Doctor Strange is a vampire. And there's a lot of stuff going on. So now they're sitting around the dinner table, and they're talking about how one guy is going to beat the other guy, and Sue Storm, or I guess it's Sue Reed now. I'm calling her Sue Storm because I'm old, and but she's married to Reed Richards now. She's like, hey, I'm gonna put you boys quit fighting, So she puts a little force field bubble, and then he start laughing at him, and then he puts her in, and so now they can't argue. And then you see them, they're like, hey, I'm gonna do it first, and then they're in a competition, He's like, beep, 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 beep. They're ringing up people, and they're gonna be the best person cleaning up. That's not even their job to clean up on aisle 7, but they're like, hey, I'm gonna be the best there is here, and I'm gonna be they're the best at what they do. And later on the night, the manager, I guess he's married. He's married to this dude. I guess they're gay. And he's like, I can't believe it. I got 2 superheroes working for us, and it's the craziest dang thing. So then they both win the competition, but the next month they're trying to win. That's what the whole, now I remember that's what the whole conversation is. They both won the competition the first time around, and then they're saying, well, I'm going to win next time, and no, you're not, and then they lock them up, and this is the next competition time to see who wins. So later on, this guy pulls up, and he's looking for Johnny Storm, and he's like, "Hey, he used to be a teen idol, and we need. Is he really working here? It took me some time to track him down." Ben's like, "Yeah, Chet, my good man, I do believe the answer to that very question walking towards us as we speak." He's, and then Johnny Storm's doing all his thing, and then he kind of belittles him. He kind of belittles Johnny for saying, "Hey man, you used to do all this great stuff, and now you're just you just work in a supermarket." And he just keeps on bugging him, and he's happy right now. And then he even bugs him about his mustache. He's like, "Man, you even got a silly, stupid mustache." And I'm down here. He's like, "But it's not. I'm not." He's crushed. The guy totally crushed him, right? Totally made him feel bad. And Ben, he sees it, and he's just the guy. He's saddened by it, and even though they might be pitted against each other, they're like brothers. So he grabs him, and he's telling this guy, that's right here. "Now you listen to me, Chet. You want to know about Johnny Storm? Because I'll tell you about Johnny Storm." He gets off in his rant, and there's the best man I knew. The guy he would give you his shirt off his back. You mocking him for working and supporting two families, one of which ain't even related to him? The man's a hero. He saved plenty of worlds, including ours, and more times than I can count. And then, he just goes on and on. And if Johnny did do any dancing, he'll bring the house down. And then he's like, "There's no shame in earning an honest living, Chet." And then he's like, and you want to know the worst thing about the damn mustache? It works. He's even saying, so quit making fun of him, And I apologize to whatever but he's telling Chet, "Hey, don't don't write any of this, or I'll come and get you." And then he says, "But aren't you worried about Chet might write what he saw? He could tell the world that he was attacked by the thing just for doing his job." He won't. Guys like him want to feel tough. So they do it by tearing down the other guy. He'll never tell the world he was the one getting strips torn off him this time. Come on, Johnny. It's past quitting time away. Let's call it a day. And let's. And then they go home. So the next day they come into work. Gambit and Rogue, Splitsville chair, Wolverine, his own told story, a World Esquire, Fantastic Four, former teen item Johnny Storm caught in Arizona love nest with sister's best friend. Married superhero The Thing professes love for hot-headed grocery clerk. What in the name of Aunt Petunia? Oh my God! And then the dang Foodtopia guy, he's like, "Sorry, I hate to let you guys go, but the store's getting too much bad publicity because of you guys." And they're like, "I think your talents might actually be better applied elsewhere." And there's like monsters and stuff outside, and the Fantastic Four is doing their thing outside. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good little comic, man. It kind of brings them into normalcy, normal life kind of stuff. The writing's good. I enjoyed it. Next issue is a Blood Hunt issue with that. But I enjoyed it. And you might like it too, if you want to take a look at it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.